see me? Can anybody hear me? Check, check, check. All right, we are live. Oh, dang. All right, well, we're starting right off there. Hey, how's it going? Let's start right off with this. There it is. There it is. Everything's fine, folks. Nothing to worry about. It's 2020. Nothing to worry about. So y'all get notifications when I go live? Probably not. Why would you? You know. Anyways, welcome to the new format. I'm putting this on a hojulazasm right now because it's the account's already set up, but this will be going on to the new channel. I'm going to edit it a little as such, so there won't be this part. But yeah, the new channel is called OHMS, the Open Hearts and Minds Society. If you put that into your YouTube search, you're going to find it. And it's going to be all political type stuff, controversial type stuff, all the stuff that I wasn't able to really get into on Facebook Live because you know how they are. Yeah, so why am I standing over there? Where's center? Here's center. It's going to take a little setting up, a little getting used to. I got a new studio here. This is obviously a green screen background, but I got a new studio here. Audio, I think, might be a little better. I'll have new audio equipment. Yeah, and so everything's fine. 2020 is how we kicked it off, and then we got, I'm going to get into my story. I'm going to get into Adam Smith's story of how I became who I am politically, spiritually, my belief systems. It's going to get a little deeper, and yeah. So I got a little experience already from doing the Facebook live streams, and they're really fun. And this is gonna be just as fun, I think. And it's gonna get real, and I like it that way. Let me just make sure the audio's going. Audio looks good. All right, and so like I said, this is called the Open Hearts and Minds Society. I want people to get comfortable. You know, we gotta, in this crazy 2020 times, we need to sort of let our minds go for a second, let our minds be free. So I'd like y'all to just have a little meditation session with me. How's that? All right, take a minute, reflect, close your eyes, and if you're of a particular faith, say a prayer. If you're just into meditation, you just want to clear your mind, do that. And here's gonna be our little meditation session. We're gonna start our clips off, or start our videos off with these. Here we go. Oops. Alright, there it is. Everybody relax, ready to go. Your head's in a good space, reconnected, grounded to center, whatever you needed to do. We're ready to get going. Alright, so like I said, this is going to be an introduction to me, Adam Smith. That's my name. I know probably with these things you're getting political, you probably shouldn't just say your name straight out, but whatever. That's who I am. I won't tell you where I live. How about that? We'll keep that. I mean, you can all figure that stuff out too. So, everyone's an open book these days. Am I right? And this is great. I feel like I could talk about anything because I set this page up for that very purpose. But I'd like to start the whole series by showing you a bit about myself and where where my path led me to being a little more skeptical of certain things, questioning the government, questioning reality itself. My brain has been expanded, and we'll get into that. Here we go. I'm gonna get into a little bit of this. Here we go. So here's me. That's me as a young little lad. That's actually, I'm pretty sure that's my grandparents' house, which is now my cousin's house. Well, my aunt and uncle's house. And there's that. So I started off as a young lad. My parents didn't know what hand I wrote with. Turns out I'm left-handed. There's me on the couch there. Oh, yeah, okay, so it starts off, I used to have this reoccurring nightmare where if I slept on my left side, right? I slept on my left side, I would have this reoccurring nightmare every single time. My left side was the side that would face the room. If I slept on my right side, I'd be facing the wall. But if I slept on my left side, I'd be facing the room, and I would have this reoccurring nightmare where a person or something, all I remember was the lab coat. Couldn't see the face, but there was a lab coat, a guy with a needle, and he would be by the side of my bed, and I would be paralyzed, wouldn't be able to move, sleep paralysis, I think they call it, and it was terrifying. And I think I got an injection, and then my nightmare ensued. I would get lifted up on this. In my mind, I remember it as a laundry basket, which is crazy, right? A laundry basket. I got lifted up in a laundry basket, but I think that's just your brain interpreting something you don't know what it was. But yeah, it was a laundry basket. And then I remember being in like a factory, like a conveyor belt, like a meat basically, and I'm just going down a conveyor belt and blah blah blah, and then I don't remember much after that, but it always starts like that. And every once in a while I would be able to I would have like a waking, what do they call what's the word for it, where it's like a dream that you could control. I would be able to, I couldn't scream, but I would be able to get out of my bed. I broke the sleep paralysis, but I wouldn't be able to be heard. So I got out of bed. I remember I ran over this. Did I actually do it? I ran over to the door, which was shut, and I would scream under the door to my parents, but no words would come out. So terrifying. Anyways, so whatever you think that is, I don't know. It could have been abduction. I don't want to go there. We don't have to go there as being abduction, but it's a possibility. So, but I did. There's me throwing a ball incorrectly. Like I said, my parents didn't know what hand I threw with. I'm left-handed, and they got me a right-handed glove, and I did not like sports because I didn't know how to throw properly because they didn't know which hand I threw with. Anyways, and I used to have this obsession with ants, and I had this idea in my head. I used to tell people when I was in school that I was from Planet Weird. If any of you were watching that knew me in elementary school, you might remember that. I'm telling people I was from Planet Weird, and it was a planet of ants. And so I drew ants all the time and ant colonies. Maybe I just did it because it's easy to draw ants. You just draw 3 circles, 2 little lines for antenna, and then you put the legs on the 2 legs on each abdomen. And yeah, very simple to draw. And you can draw hundreds of them. So, and I like to draw. So that's that. And but yeah, I was obsessed with that. There's me, and parents had a lake house and still do. They're actually there now. And my dad used to tell me this story about how he saw a UFO in the woods, and he told me this when I was a kid. And he told me about, I think he said he was driving. I can't tell you the neighborhood because I don't want to give anything away, our hometown here. But he was driving back to his house, my family's house. I wasn't born yet. My sisters, who are almost 10 years and 8 years older than me, he was going back to them. And he looked out into the woods, or he was driving, and off to the side in the woods, he saw some lights, like colored lights, and it looked like they were like changing, and they shouldn't have been there. It was just woods to the side of the road. And so he stopped his car and looked, and he saw a disc in the woods, a disc-shaped object in the woods with rotating lights. And he told me that, and ever since then I have been fascinated with the subject of UFOs. And well, we've got a lot more to talk about, but that I figured we should get that out there. So okay, I just realized now that I'm doing this that I can't cut back to myself here, or I have to go through all these again. All right, so okay, at least we didn't have to go that far. Here's the woods one. It's just more me. I had an active imagination. I was a superhero and whatnot. I had an obsession with music, of course. That was actually, I was listening there to these like storybooks that would be read back to you with, like I don't know how to describe it. Basically, like you hear the story being told on a tape, and you hit play on the tape, and yeah, you can read along. I love those things. Still have that boombox. There's my sister and me in my kitchen, our kitchen. Weren't too well off, as you could see in the back. There's a kerosene heater. That's how we heated that room. But we were lucky enough to have this lake house kind of passed down to us from a relative. And that's me and my cousin Ryan on the right, and buddy on the left named Max. Good dude. And we were weird. We were weird people. Growing up, did some drugs. There's me with greasy hair, probably smoking some weed. There's me and my cousins. Good lads. We were musicians, all of us. I play bass. The dude in the middle, Sean, he plays some sick lead guitar. Ryan on the right there, he's a sick musician, great singer, great songwriter. And yeah, I originally wanted to play drums, and I did in marching band in school. This is kind of unimportant, but ended up playing bass. Go figure. There's me, pretty high. My sister probably took this, just high after school. And yeah, I liked drugs. I unfortunately got a taste for LSD, so I really expanded my mind at a young age. Like, this picture is my senior year. I had already done too much drugs by this point. And I was straight edge. But here's me back when I wasn't. Me and Ryan jamming out, making some music. Had a band, that was what it is right there. Then I, like I said, I went straight edge, started drinking beer, which still do to this day, and it's a little better for my brain. It keeps it a little more chill, and yeah. But I had a laborious job, factory work, and so it was good to. That was from a thing called Bush Night. After that factory job, we'd get back and drink some Bush. Actually happens to be a bud, but we called it Bush Night. Anyways, and I was into UFOs. This is actually a much later picture of UFOs. We'll talk about that, but that's from the Nimitz. That's from, I don't know, the 2000s anyways. Like probably 2016, I think. Great stuff. So yeah, I was into aliens then, like I said, still, and I was into this guy, Sean David Morton, who had a radio show called Strange Universe, and he talked about UFOs and other stuff. And Jordan Maxwell, who was into some weird stuff. He was into the aliens and stuff too, but he was also into occult symbolism, some pretty fascinating stuff. David Icke, also a big fan of him when I was, of working age. He's still pretty popular to this day. That's him giving a lecture. He used to do these like slideshow presentations, all about aliens. He was big, well known for the reptilians and stuff. And then this is Freeman Fly. I liked his stuff. He was big into. This is one thing he was most known for. Barack Obama. Like he believes that the Obamas were actually possibly clones. Like they took the DNA of Akhenaten and made him and his wife, I believe that's Nefertiti, and his kids too. Like, oh man, if you could see that, like his kids and everything look a lot like these other, like their kids. It's weird. It's just interesting. I mean, it's all speculation, could be complete BS, but I loved it. I love that kind of stuff. And he was big into masonry. Then I got into, I need to back this up. Oh, I don't have a video ready. Shoot. There was supposed to be a video. Maybe I can do this. Maybe I can screen share and just show you the video. So I had, after I was into all the alien stuff, that picture of me at Bush Night, that was around 2000. But then all of a sudden, something happened that changed my life and everybody's life. And that would be this. Oops. Sorry, you can't see it. That'll be this. World Trade Center. Collapsing in almost free fall. So devastating. Everybody was terrified. Just devastating. And yeah, so can't really see the towers going down, but yeah, so that was a shock, and something told me something was weird about that. And particularly weird was do I have it here? Was this right here. That's Building 7. Building 7 did not get hit by a plane. Not at all. It was just next to those buildings. Not even that close. It was, there's other buildings that were closer that got, fire damage, like worse fire damage than Building 7. And yeah, I mean, you could look around at the buildings next to the two towers, and they were scorched, burnt. Many fires in those buildings. And Building 7 had a little bit of fire in one of the floors, and it just collapsed, just like the other three, or the other two. And that blew my mind. That really, really blew my mind. Just hold on, let's go back. There it goes. Ready? Nothing hit that. Nothing. No fire. Nothing. No plane hit that. You didn't even see any fires. It just... Why? Why did that happen? How? And so, 2 words, controlled demolition, right? Okay, so let's get back to the slideshow. Oh man, this is gonna mess everything up, isn't it? Damn it. Well, let's cut to my life. There's everything. I know this is not very professional. This is my first video. What do you want from me? Okay, did some drugs. I love music. Yeah, bands. There's Bush Night. UFOs, yeah. Then my other influential people. But, yeah. So, after 9/11 happened, I watched this incredible documentary, which you haven't seen, you should check out, called Loose Change. And you might recognize some of the names on there. This guy helped produce that film. And I had only seen him before in a movie called Waking Life as a animated character, but it was him, but it was animated. And it was actually really good. Like in the movies, talking about how Democrat and Republican are 2 sides of the same coin, and they are, aren't they? And I like that point of view. And he's always had that megaphone and just shouting at people, and so I'm like, okay, so this guy, Mr. A. Jones, we'll call him. I don't think I can even say his name on the freaking internet because he's so demonized. And why? Because he's telling the truth, people. He was first to speak up about that building, number 7, collapsing into a nothingness from fire, which is impossible. And yeah, so I got into his stuff, watched this movie called Endgame that he did. Mind-blowing. Actually, just recently watched it with a friend, and it's still epic. Like to this day, the plan of the elites and what they're doing, man, terrifying. Got this guy again. Oh, Jan Irvin, I got into him. He used to be he used to be like a agnostic, and he used to be apparently very into like Terrence McKenna and the mind expansion and all that, and then he really got down to earth and decided to change his ways and got into Jesus and logic and something called the trivium and the very interesting stuff. Logical fallacies and things like that. Good stuff. His newer stuff is even better. Well, that's my cat. I don't know why I put that in there. Just cute. Threw those in again. And I think that's about it. Go back to home here. Yeah, that's pretty much my story. So I got to run things down. I basically had some weird experiences as a child. My dad told me he saw a UFO, so that got me into the paranormal. And I mean, you got stuff in between all this where, the X-Files when I was a teenager, which was a huge influence, of course, on outside of the box thinking. They always had that question everything, trust no one, and all that good stuff. And the truth is out there, of course. Great stuff. And that first movie that they did, the first X-Files movie, was straight up conspiracy theory or conspiracy, however you want to look at it. And it was so good. I might watch that again. That was so dang good. But yeah, you got a little glimpse into my life, and that's okay. There you go. There's the first episode of a show that I don't even have called anything yet. This is more of an introduction, I guess, to me. And the next video will probably go. It won't be live. It's gonna be me and a friend of mine, and we're gonna discuss some actual topical stuff and give our breakdown of current events, politics, and it should get cool. And over time we're gonna get in some. I'm gonna get in some different guests. Maybe you have to go Skype or Facebook Live, video messenger or something along those lines to conference with people. But we're gonna have some debates. We're gonna have some just open conversation. I can't wait. It's gonna be cool. If you like this video, if you like this concept, click like at the bottom and subscribe and all that fun stuff. Right now it's on the Hojulazasm channel, but it's going to be on the Open Hearts and Minds Society. And when that's over there, or when you're over there, go and subscribe to that. Open Hearts and Minds Society, OHMS, in parentheses, and subscribe to that. And when the video is up there, give it a thumbs up if you like it. And it's only going to get better, I swear. This was kind of I won't say train wreck, but had some flubs. Whatever. It's live. Okay. Thank you very much for